Hello everyone, welcome again. Today in this video I am going to share a new topic, that is differences between bacteria and fungi. So in this video I will tell you about the main differences between bacteria and fungus. So let's start with the topic, that is first point is definition. Bacteria and fungi. So bacteria are basically single cell microscopic incipient nucleus or membrane-less cell organelles type bacteria. Means bacteria are basically single cell. They exist mainly in single cell and they are very small in size. That's why they are called microscopic in nature, and they have incipient nucleus. Incipient nucleus means the nucleus which exists in the cytoplasm without a boundary. So there is a dark stained area in the cell which is called incipient nucleus of bacteria. Or in bacteria there is no cell organelle, and there is only one cell organelle, that is ribosome, which is without membrane. So this is the main feature of bacteria. Now fungi are basically eukaryotes. We all know that bacteria placed in the kingdom Monera, which are prokaryote in nature, and fungi are eukaryotic in nature. Eukaryotic have all type of organelles, and all organelles are covered with a well-developed membrane, and they have a very prominent nucleus. So if fungi are eukaryotes that are characterized by the presence of chitin in cell wall. Chitin is a homopolysaccharide which exist in the cell wall of fungi. So basically fungi have cell membrane and cell wall is made up of chitin, and they are eukaryotic in nature. Next point is the cell type. So bacteria are prokaryote, as I said before. They placed in kingdom Monera, so they all are prokaryote, but fungi are eukaryote. Third point is number of cell. As I said, that bacteria are mainly exist in unicellular natures. They exist only with a single cell. There is no division of labor. So they have a simple structure, but they have complex behavior. So simple cellular structure, because bacteria are unicellular and fungi are multicellular with a complex cellular structure. There are some exceptions, like in fungi, yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae is an example, which are unicellular. Although all fungi are multicellular, they exist with a complex cellular behavior. Now fourth point is the size. So bacteria are very small in size, that's why they are called microscopic, and their size ranges from 0.5 to 5 micrometer, and fungi exist in ranges between 2 to 10 micrometer. So they are larger than the bacteria in size. And now the cell wall in bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan, under which cell membrane is present. Peptidoglycan means there is a composition of protein component with oligosaccharide. So oligosaccharide and protein form peptidoglycan, and there is a specialized type of structure of peptidoglycan, and it covers the cell membrane of bacteria. So outside is the cell. So outside cell plasma membrane, there exists a cell wall, which is, so there exists a cell membrane or plasma membrane which is made up of cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, and below the cell wall there is a cell membrane. So cell membrane and then cell wall of bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan, and fungi cell wall is made up of chitin is a homopolysaccharide. Now the morphology. Bacteria have distinct shape, like it can be round, spiral, or rod shape. Like if I talk about the lactobacillus, then they are rod shape. Streptococcus are spiral shape, and Vibrio cholera are coma shape. So they have a different type of shapes. But fungi also have a varying shape. Most of them are in the form of thread-like structure called hyphae. So they are formed of mainly a filamentous structure that is called hyphae, and many hyphae when meet with each other, then they form mycelium. So all these things, hyphae are the basic filamentous structure of a fungus. Now the pH is the strength of strength of acidic or alkaline of the environment. So we can say that bacteria grow in a pH range 6.5 to 7. So when the pH is neutral in nature, so bacteria growth is very high, and when pH is acidic, or we can say environment is acidic, then the growth of fungi is very prominent, because fungus grow in the pH value 4 to 6, which is acidic in nature. So mobility in bacteria, some are mobile. We can say that bacteria are mostly mobile in nature because they have a flagella which are extracellular in nature, and fungi are immobilized because they do not have any type of flagella, so they are immobile organism. If I talk about the next point, that is nucleus, so in bacteria, nucleus are not as much prominent. They are localized in cytoplasm without a boundary, and in the fungi, mainly they nucleus are localized in a well developed region or covered with a membrane in the cytoplasm. So so nucleus present in the nuclear region, and they have nucleoplasm, so it is very advanced in fungi. Now next is the cell organelle. As I said before, bacteria do not have any organelle, and if have, then it is without any membrane, for example ribosome. And in fungi, different type of organelles are present, like mitochondria, Golgi body, and another peroxisome, etc. And they are covered with a very well developed membrane, so they contain several membrane bound organelle. Ribosomes are 70S type in bacteria and 80S type in fungi. S represent here sedimentation coefficient, or it represent basically, it represent it 70S, S here represents sedimentation coefficient, and it defines the scientist name. And in fungi, ribosomes are of 80S type. So here two subunits of ribosomes are present, larger and smaller subunit. Larger subunit is 50S and smaller subunit is 30S, and here larger subunit is 60S and smaller subunit is 40S. Now the reproduction in the bacteria, they reproduce by asexual means like binary fission or budding, and in fungi it reproduce through asexual or sexual method. Both the type of method are used here. In the sexual method, spores are formed which are called fungal spores. For the nutrition, bacteria can be autotroph or heterotroph depending upon the situation where they exist. And in the fungi, they are basically heterotroph. They do not make their own food. They basically depend upon another organism for their food, and they feed on the dead and decaying matter. So they are basically heterotrophs. Next point is the source of energy. For bacteria, source of energy can be inorganic or organic matter. Inorganic, like they can use sulfur as energy source, and organic, like carbon material, they can use for their energy, like sugar, protein, and fat, etc. But for the fungi, as they are heterotrophic in nature, so they obtain their energy from the pre-existing organic matter, means the matter which exists in pre-organism, which feeds on which fungi feeds. So fungi obtain their energy from pre-existing organic matter. So because they cannot make their own food, that's why they exist on another organism and use them as an energy source. Now the next point is respiration. Bacteria basically perform aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic means in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen. So they can perform respiration in both type of situation, that is aerobic and anaerobic. But for fungi, fungi basically work in anaerobic. Fungi basically use anaerobic respiration, and they help in ethanol fermentation. So and release carbon dioxide. Next point is pili. In bacteria, pili are present. Pili are basically used as a conjugation method for sexual reproduction in bacteria. We can say incomplete sexual reproduction, not complete. Fungi do not have pili because they use a sexual method for their reproduction. That is, they form spores which are called fungal spores for sexual reproduction. Next point is the cytoskeleton. Bacteria do not have any microtubules or microfilaments which do not provide them strength, because they have a cell wall which provide them strength, and they do not requirement of any microtubules or microfilaments. And fungi have both microtubule as well as microfilament which provide them strength. Now the next point is the cell cycle. In bacteria, cell cycle is very short, that is 20 to 60 minutes. They can divide a bit after 20 to 60 minutes, like for example E. coli divide after every 20 minutes. And fungi cell cycle is longer, that is 12 to 24 hours. If I talk about disease, so bacteria causes a different type of disease like tuberculosis, tetanus, leprosy, typhoid, cholera. And fungi causes a skin infection mainly, so it relates with the dermis. So it causes many skin infections like itching, irritation, etc. Next point is use. So bacteria can use for the production of antibiotics like streptomycin is a very prominent type of antibiotics, and another chemicals are also used derived from the bacteria. But for fungi, they help in the production of beer, bread, and antibiotics. For example, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is a best example for the production of bread and used in the bakery products. And they also help in formation of antibiotics like penicillin. Penicillin was discovered by Fleming, and penicillin is the first antibiotic which was discovered from the fungi. Now and it was discovered serendipitously. And next point is examples. So bacteria have wide range of example. For example, E. coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Salmonella typhi, Lactobacillus. And for fungi, examples are Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is also called yeast, Aspergillus niger, Agaricus neurospora. Agaricus is known as mushroom, and Neurospora crassa is a very used Neurospora crassa is used fungi which is used in biotechnology, or many experiments are done on this fungi. So it is very important example of fungus. So these all are the important points of the differences between bacteria and fungi, and the main characteristic feature also include in these points. So I hope this video will help you to understand for better understanding the differences between bacteria and fungi. Thank you, friends.